Okay, let's take a look at a couple of problems with function notation. Remember, when we have the x in the parentheses and the f, g, or h in front, this is called function notation. This is saying we have a function of x that's equal to 3x minus 1, a function of x that's equal to 12 minus x, and a third function of x that's equal to 2x squared. The f, g, and h are not variables. Remember, those are not variables. Those are sort of like the names of the functions. We're naming this function f, function g, and function h. The way this works is like it is replacing y. This would be as if we had y equals 3x minus 1, except with f of x. Now, we don't want to rewrite it, because they're also used to kind of help us as we get into our problems here. This is telling me to evaluate these functions, show all my work. This tells me which function I'm using. This tells me what the value of x is. So this says use function g when x is negative 2. So I don't use this function. This is the function I need to use for this problem. G, when x is negative 2, is equal to 12 minus, don't forget, please don't forget, every time we substitute, we use parentheses. So instead of x here, I'm using negative 2. Without the parentheses, I could put myself in trouble because I might not see this is minus a negative. And when we do minus a negative, it's the same as a positive. So this is 12 plus 2, or 14. So we can say that the function g, when x is negative 2, is 14. Okay? I'll do one more with you up in the top row. Same concept. The function h means I choose this function when forget that. When x is negative 3. So I take my h of x, but instead of x, I'm using negative 3. Equals 2, and then I have parentheses squared. In the parentheses is negative 3. Remember, the only thing that's being squared here is the negative 3, and in reality, what's being squared is these parentheses, negative 3. If you don't put those parentheses in your calculator, you will get this wrong. Negative 3 squared is negative 3 times negative 3, which is positive 9. So we get 2 times 9, which is 18. So h, the function h, when x is negative 3, is 18. Go ahead and solve number 3 right now, please. I'm going to press pause, so you should press pause, solve it, and then check your answer. Okay, so we should have got a function using the function f when x is 12 is 35. If you did not get that, please go back and check your work. The next type of problem we have to talk about here is when I'm subtracting or adding any two of these functions. The only difference between what we did just now and these is that I'm going to do two of them, and at the end, add or subtract. So I know that I need to find the function f when x is 8. I need to find the function h when x is 2. So for this one, I have to use, I'm going to get rid of all the writing up at the top for now. This function when x is 8. So I get 3 times 8 minus 1, which is 24 minus 1, which is 23. So I know that the function f when x is 8 is 23. I use this function h of x to find h of 2. So it's 2 times 2 squared. First thing I do is 2 squared. That's 4. So 2 times 4 is 8. So I know that the function h of 2, so the function h when x is 2 is 8. The problem here is telling me to find f of x, or f of 8, minus h of 2. I know that f of 8 is 23. So 23 minus h of 2, which is 8, minus 8, gives me a total of 15. That's my final answer. So find the first one, find the second one, in this case subtract. On the next one, you're going to find g of negative 3, f of 1, and then add the two together. Go ahead and press pause and try that now, please. Finding g of negative 3 to be 15, f of 1 to be 2, we add those two functions and get a total of 17 for our final answer. Again, if you have questions, please see your teacher. And, as always, come in for help as soon as you need it.